So, I wanted to talk about something happened this morning. I was walking with my dog Shiva, who is at home at the moment, and there was obviously a Muslim Arab cleaning man who was working for the municipality, and the dog went up to him because she sees the person. She doesn't see whether they're Arab or Jew, African, European, whatever. She just goes to people that she thinks are safe. So she went up to him and he said, "Oh no, don't let her go near me because she's unclean." And I prayed or something like this. And then I said, "You know what's unclean is the people in your religion or Judaism or Christianity who tell you that animals are unclean. There's no such thing as an unclean animal. There's such a thing as an unclean religious leader who tells people that dogs are not clean or not pure, that they are a problem. If we follow dogs' behavior and behave like dogs, being loving, non-violent creatures that a lot of them are, we can only go higher. And the problem is people that demonize other human beings and other animals. And I would say that is probably true for all the three major religions. There's always demonization. I was pretty horrified in this last holiday. You don't want to spread anti-Semitism, but Judaism also has its part in not liking the other and demonizing the other. And the same goes for Christianity, of course, demonizing people that are not, I don't know, you can't be saved unless you're baptized and blah, blah, blah. And Islam, the dogs are impure and all kinds of other bullshit, or even they preach for violence. And all religions, in fact, at one point preach for violence, but maybe it's time to stop and take a look at your religion and see whether it promotes healthy ideas or whether it promotes hate and demonization of other living beings. And if so, just don't follow that tradition. Not all traditions should be followed. Like my mother was a very nervous person who took out her anger at other people. I try not to follow it. Sometimes it's hard not to follow traditions because you live with a certain tradition and you just think it's part of you, but it's not part of you. It's up to you to decide what you let in your life or not, what not. And if your religion tells you to hate other people, just leave that religion alone, because that's not a true religion. A religion is a set of beliefs that's supposed to take you to a higher place. And you can also pick and choose. You don't have to embrace everything about a religion. You can take certain things. You can take certain traditions, certain celebrations, but not others. So in Purim, I love to dress up. I love to be happy. I think there are a lot of beautiful traditions, but I don't feel like killing other people just because they are Amalek or whatever they are. I don't think the children of a certain person are responsible for his actions. I think everybody has to be responsible for their own actions. I don't believe in anything that has to do with killing other people. Look at the patriot. She's so patriotic. She's so patriotic, isn't she? No, she's not. In fact, she's a bullshit artist who's dressing up like a patriot, waving the Israeli flag. And on Independence Day, you don't see any flags, but they're protesting. What are they protesting? What are they really protesting, these people? They're blocking roads. Again, it's a tradition to protest the right wing. The right wing has a tradition to protest, to go against the left. But, at one point you say, stop and ask yourself, what do I achieve by this protest? And do I achieve anything? What do I achieve by waving a flag and taking it completely out of context? And instead of being a flag of the land of Israel, it is a flag that only certain ideas are valid and others are absolutely unacceptable. And then I should just find the people that hold ideas that are different than mine as invalid, and they shouldn't even be in the government, they shouldn't be in the country, they shouldn't exist. I don't know how far they're going to take it. But there are elections, and during the elections, a government is voted in. Wait, see what the government does. And if you think it's anti-democratic, if you think that before this government, the other government was very liberal and they really allowed people of who held different ideologies in the government and were tolerant of other ideas, do you really think that? Do you think the left is so tolerant of other ideas and other ideals? Do you think they're tolerant of religious people's rights? Do you really think that they respect the other people's rights? Or, that's the question. And why assume, when you assume, you make an ass out of me. Why do you assume this government will be like fascist, Nazi-like? I mean, the terminology that the left is using is absolutely unacceptable in my opinion. I mean, comparing the Prime Minister of Israel to Adolf Hitler just shows ignorance. It shows a person who doesn't know who Hitler was, what he stood for, and who just compares anybody he doesn't like, anybody he thinks is a fascist, to the worst, one of the worst human beings on earth. So anyway, it says here, Tagidi, Mavet Zetoshti, tell me, is death hereditary? It's a good question. We all die. So let's not waste our time hating other people, not waste our time just really dividing into we and them. If you want to, instead of protest, why don't you do other things? Become a person who's pro-person, pro-dog, pro-animals, something that is positive, rather than protest. That means probably just wasting your time screaming.